According to recent reports, Newsmax is not doing as well as they would like everybody to believe. In fact, as Vox reported, Newsmax has lost 50% of their audience in just the first 6 months of this year. Where they were in January, they had lost 50% of that audience by June. Not a good sign for the fledgling little network, is it? Here's what happened, and Vox actually did an interview with Jason Campbell from Media Matters, and first and foremost talked about the fact that obviously Newsmax got a huge boost following the 2020 election. You know, Fox News fell out of favor, as Media Matters reports, with conservatives because they called Arizona for Joe Biden, pissed off a lot of conservatives, so they went over to Newsmax, which didn't call Arizona for Biden. Then, of course, they kept peddling all the conspiracy theories about the election. They got all those Republicans hooked, and then they got themselves slapped with a massive defamation lawsuit for all of those election lies, so they had to kind of tone down their rhetoric. And right around the time they were toning down this rhetoric is when people started to say, you know what, this is kind of boring. Why am I here? Why am I watching this? As Campbell from Media Matters points out, I have to read this. It's not a particularly good news network. They don't have nearly as big of a budget as Fox News does, and their hosts are just simply not as talented. It's hard to sustain huge viewerships when you're just not that good. And that's what we're looking at here with Newsmax. Let's face it, Newsmax has basically become the recycling bin of people who are not good enough for Fox News. And Fox News, don't get us wrong, right? They're horrible human beings, and they lie constantly. But sometimes you get liars that are even too extreme for Fox News. Great example is the fact that Matt Gaetz can't go on Fox News anymore, so he appears on Newsmax all the time, quite literally saying the same thing every time he goes on and does an interview. That's what's happened to that network. See, one of the interesting things for conservatives about Fox News is that there's always a new conspiracy theory that they push out there. There's always a new idiotic talking point. There's always a new outrage. They're very good at creating fake things for conservatives to get pissed off about. Newsmax is not. They do not have that kind of talent. So they either have to rehash what Fox News is talking about, or they have to go back to the same old talking points that they're using every single day, and people get bored of it. Obviously, the path that Newsmax is on is not sustainable. You're going to start losing tons of money once you've lost half your audience in 6 months. I mean, God, on that trajectory, technically, they would be out of business by December. But they'll limp along for a while. But I guarantee you, those glory days they had between November 3rd and December 31st, that was basically the peak of Newsmax. And I don't think they will ever hit that again. And that's assuming the network even survives at this point. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for fresh content 7 days a week.